Okay. Hello, everybody. I believe we're live now. Sorry about the wait. We've been having a little chat before we went live, getting things lined up. Had a few technical difficulties that we worked through. So here we are. Sorry it took so long. There's also another video lined up, a premiere after this one, folks. So just be mindful of that after we're done here. That is about the $50 million bullet. There's a big event going on there in Neenah in Wisconsin this weekend with that. So be sure to keep your eye out for that. But we're here today with Miss Sharon Sunshine Young and Mr. Paul Capaldi, and we are going to talk about Ziggi. You know, one of our beloved members of the Wrecking Crew, who many of us know and love and have had, many conversations, enjoyable conversations with her. And so we're going to talk about Ziggi because we love her so much. And she was just an indispensable member of the community. I mean, she was so helpful whenever something was going on, whenever there was something that required, people to band together to like Mammothon and various things and for rally and those things. She was helpful. She did whatever she could to help. And it's like I said the other night in the video, I'd take 1,000 Ziggis in support of Stephen and Brendan, and I'll take 1,000 more on top, because she was true blue. She cared about the cause and the cases. It wasn't about anything else for her. She just cared about the cases, and she made it her, one of the things that she does. She obviously had quite a few interests in the true crime community, but Stephen and Brendan were a big one for her. And like I said, I would take 1,000 more Ziggis any day in support of Stephen and Brendan. And I think a lot of people kind of know what I mean by that and feel the same way. So, having said that, is there anything you want to say off the top of your head right now that struck you about Ziggi, Sharon?
I'll pick me first.
Yes.
Oh, ladies first. Ladies first.
Ladies first, of course.
You might have warned me. I loved Ziggi. Ziggi and I, we bonded well because we were both, didn't keep well. We're both disabled, and all the things that go along with that. So, and plus we're both the cheery one. Even although we've got our limitations, we're both the one that we were cheery. So I've got my little black heart on tonight for Ziggi as well, because I love black hearts as well. Right. But I mean, she was so helpful to people, and she was so nice and friendly. But I mean, we used to have such a laugh, like at the Mammothon. We were calling it Pajama Mammothon. Yeah. Because we didn't have to go on and use all day. We could stay in our jammies if we wanted to, like 5 in the morning. So we were like Pajama Mammothon. Also at the rally, because we weren't there, we had a fake kid on, I suppose, petted lip attitude of, well, that's nice, we're left out, they're all having fun, So she was like kidding on, saying, yeah, we're pathetic, sitting at home with homemade, Mammothon, making them order t-shirts, and, so it was like really funny, we're just like laughing.
I'm surprised you guys didn't get We Were Left Out of
I know.
T-shirts made for yourselves.
So we were like going, oh, well, we didn't need to travel all that way. We turned it round to be, no, you're fine, we're at home, we can watch everything that's going on, and and comforter, we're home, and don't need to do the gay garden.
Bunny slippers and all that.
Yeah. So it was really nice. So yeah, we had a good laugh about things like that. That was. I mean, she's going to be really missed, because I loved her for that. We both have a good laugh, and be the ones that, like, fake kid on, we were hurt, because we were left out, so so it's
well, on our part, we certainly didn't want her left out. I literally thought she was. I didn't find out until I was in Wisconsin that she wasn't coming, so I was like, bummed. I'm like, no, Ziggy's not coming, like, And so Fenn had this string of like green lights, and those of you who know, Ziggi was the one who was talking about, because we knew we couldn't use blue or red or these other colors that are used for emergency vehicles and things like that. So green ended up being like the color that she was like talking about we should use. And so Fenn had this string of green lights, and so we had this string of green lights sitting on the couch, and it was Ziggi, and we were kind of having fun interacting with her as if she was there. This is how much we all wanted her there.
It's not weird at all.
Yeah, we were all like a little bummed she wasn't able to make it, and so So we were just that was our way of showing our love for her at that time. You know, I mean, so it's a real kick in the teeth what's happened recently, but we can celebrate Ziggy's life because she touched a lot of people. So how did she? What was your experience with Ziggy there, Mr. Capaldi?
Well, first of all, obviously we were talking earlier about the fact that, as you say, she was such a certainly on the wrecking crew, and she was there very much on the happy hour, on the on the Discord channel, and as you pointed out, very much a she was a moderator. Is that the right word, or admin, or what was the word?
Moderator on our
for somebody that's got a spanner and will have spanner, will use spanner, and she
definitely.
Folks, when he says spanner, he means a wrench. Sorry, go ahead.
Spanner's fine for me.
Well, you see, okay. So I'm sure that I can remember her. She was very keen on telling everybody, click on this, click on subscribe, hit the like button. Very, very supportive. I mean, there are so many great supporters out there that if you never get to meet any of them, it's sometimes difficult, trickier, shall we say, to relate to them from afar,
Right.
And as I was saying to you earlier, I had no idea who Ziggy was, age-wise, background, anything like that. I just knew her as a supporter, somebody that I was friends on Facebook, although we never actually shared any private messages. But then, what I have found out, obviously from the likes of you two, is that you were constantly, in Facebook Messenger with them, with her,
or Discord
and
chat.
It's just, it's just really, really sad that such a keen supporter is met her end, and I don't know all the ins and outs as to what the hell went on, but it's just very, very sad.
It is. It's terribly sad.
And but what we really want to do is to celebrate all the good that she did, all the good that she stood for. As I was explaining to you earlier, I was being messaged as soon as it happened from one of her friends.
Well, not as soon as it happened, but as soon as we found out about it.
Yeah. About the fact that she also had a huge passion for
animals,
protection of animals. Yeah.
Unless it was a mice or a rat. But,
well, okay.
But because of the mice and rats, she did love her cats. So.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's as I say, it's just very, very sad, the circumstances. We don't know fully the circumstances. We do know that unfortunately, she's not around to see this through. Obviously, we're talking about circumstances. Obviously, that there's no, as far as we know, no connection to her following of making a murderer and the case.
No, yeah, we're not trying to get to the bottom of a crime here. We're just we're just celebrating the life of a beloved wrecking crew member.
Yeah. And I would definitely commend the fact that we are celebrating that here was one of the many great supporters, and it's just very sad that she's not around anymore. That she never made it to a rally. So, well, at least I don't think so. But
she didn't. She was going to, almost did.
Yeah.
I wish now more than ever that she had been able to make it now, with the light of this, tragic event, so that I could have at least met her once, because I loved Ziggy. I mean, Ziggy and I didn't talk every day, but we talked often, and you know, she would message me through Discord and everything. It's like with Happy Hour back when we were just getting Discord going, and the whole idea for Happy Hour came up, and she was like, "Oh, I want to be all about that, and I want to, you know, blah blah. Can I do this? And I'm like, it's all yours. You have at it. You know what I mean?" And so she made that room. That was just the room to go and. You could talk about MAM, you could talk about wrongful convictions, but you could also talk about fun stuff, other stuff, off the mat stuff, you know. So
hold it there. Explain why Happy Hour.
Well, Happy Hour because of the famous, you know, as most people know. I don't know if you have it in the UK or not, but here in the States, we have bars will have what's called Happy Hour, and basically during that 1 or 2 hour period, you can go in and like all the drinks, like the mixed drinks, will all be $1. When they're ordinarily $3 or $4 or $5, you know what I mean? Or the beers, instead of being $1.50, will be 50 cents for that 2 hours. So they call that Happy Hour because everybody's coming in to get happy, and
they do that
and they're having to part with less of their hard-earned greenbacks to do it. So.
But was it also the place where we would post 1 or 2 fun things?
It was
yes.
Basically yes.
Well, that's I understand the concept of a happy hour.
Okay.
I have enjoyed a happy hour on more than one occasion,
I'm sure
and
you
probably
more than 1 hour.
More than an hour.
Like it sounds like maybe might have been right now, possibly. No, I'm just kidding.
But the point I'm trying to make is that was it not somewhere that we shared 1 or 2 funny pictures and stuff?
Yes, it was, absolutely.
Yes. So, sometimes at your expense, dude.
Oh, and there's usually appetizers. Somebody's pointing
mostly.
out. Sorry.
Yeah, appetizers.
Yes, so. Yeah. Okay. So yes. So basically, what we're saying is she was a very fun-loving person.
Very fun-loving person.
She was.
Very fun-loving. Very keen on, as you say, protection of animals.
Yep.
Very committed to wrongful convictions and trying to see them resolved.
She also cared about human animals. So.
Yeah, and had a sense of humour. You know, so I mean, to me that sums up. I would say a lot of supporters that I know.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, and you know, a lot of my experience with Ziggy, you know, early on before MAM2, it was mainly, you know, engaging her in the comment sections of my videos because I didn't premiere or go live really a whole lot prior to October 19th of last year. So, so prior to that, it was mainly in the comment sections, or if it was over on like Laura's channel, if Laura was live, and so I would see her in the live chat there, or stuff like that, and then on Twitter, I would see her from time to time on Twitter. So, but once MAM2 came out, and I started going live every day, and everybody started, you know, kind of flooding to the channel, and then that's when Hangouts started, and then we hit over 200 people, and Hangouts wouldn't let anybody else join, so then we discovered Discord, and that's when I started actually having more often having conversations with Ziggy, because she could easily PM me through Discord and that sort of things, which was access she didn't have to me previously. So she would message, and there's a whole bunch of stuff. I went and some of the images I've been putting up, those are I've been going back through our chat, and those are things that she had put up that I just thought were awesome or funny or whatever, and so I've been pulling them out. She was just a lot of fun. She was, you know, she wasn't there to bum you out or bring you down. And the only time I can say maybe she was coming with something that wasn't quite so fun, it was because it was something she really cared about and something she was really getting jerked around about by the, you know, county or the town or whatever, principality, wherever she lived, that was messing with her pets, which were the things she loved more than anything.
Right. Yeah.
Right? So, you know, she had messaged me, and she shared with me what she was wanting to say when she went to court, and because she was very apprehensive about it, and she was very self-conscious about speaking in public because of she had what do they call it, a laryngectomy?
Laryngectomy.
Yeah, laryngectomy, whatever. So she couldn't talk really anymore. At least if she did, it was very rough and very just. It was. She found her voice to be very unpleasant to her own ears. I'll put it that way. She didn't like to use it. So, so she had constructed all this and sent it over so I could look at it, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, it's brilliant. You know, make sure you show up there. You know, be assertive. Don't be arrogant, but be assertive, and don't let them bully you. But just be assertive and respectful, and everything." And she did. And she went in and she came out after going back to court. She came out better off. She was unable to get her dogs back, unfortunately, but she was able to get some of the stains that they had tarred, and feathered her with. She was able to get some of that stuff out and taken care of, and everything. So I was very proud of her for that. She was able to stand up and do that and represent herself and all that. So I was very happy for her about that. Sharon, did you talk to her about that at all?
Well, I remember at the time everyone was kind of talking to her about it, but I didn't really. I remember her being stressed out about it and stuff like that, but nothing that, any different from what you're saying. I remember just we were all just kind of behind her and, hoping that everything was going to go well so that she could, because she was hoping to get a service dog, so she needed to get those marks off of her so that she could, move forward and, get the service dog. Otherwise, it would have, not looked so good, on her on her side sort of thing.
Right.
If we lost Paul.
Uh-oh. Well, we lost his camera anyway. I can still hear that weird noise coming through from his end, but anyway.
But yeah, one other thing, Ziggy was very, because obviously I'm Scottish, in case anyone doesn't know. Just point it out, I mean, she
They may
really
take our lives! Oh.
Don't you say freedom. Don't you say freedom. It drives me nuts. Everyone always says that, and it's like, we don't all walk about saying freedom. We don't.
I'm sure, right? But iconic movie scene, what are you going to do?
Yeah, well, I know, that's it. Keep it in the movies,
I'd make the argument that a lot of people are running around saying freedom right now. But anyways, that's besides the point. Let's not get off track.
Well, yeah, of course. But one of the things that Ziggy loved was that her name, Matheson, was actually one of the famous clans. So she really liked that, and I shared a load of stuff to her, and she was like, oh, she just loved that, and she was watching all the videos about it, and she was really, she really loved it. And I was trying to get some of the Matheson tartan. I was trying to get a bit of it because I was going to maybe do a wee journal type thing and cover it, or do a wee thing for her. Right. So I was bummed that I was trying to, because all the bits I saw were just £200 per meter, and I was like, that's a wee bit much. I'm looking for just a wee scrap.
For a meter?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's why I was like, wow. If you get any key rings with the tartan on it, but tartans, some tartans are expensive. They can be really expensive.
Geez.
So
you're talking about a meter. $200 for a dish towel.
Well,
basically.
Could you say that about our Scottish cloth?
Well, I'm saying size-wise, not the cloth. I know. You know what I mean? You're paying $200 for half a towel. It's like...
Well, I was hoping to go and bat my eyes and see if I could get a swatch. A swatch from the tartan shop or something like that.
Right.
Because it's funny because well, not bat my eyes, but I'd have been like, you get any swatches, and
Right on. So she was taking an interest in her Scottish heritage. That's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a little thing where we look into Clan Matheson next weekend.
The motto for Clan Matheson was very Ziggy. It really was. It was do and hope. Yeah. That was the phrase of it, do and hope, and I liked that. I said that too. I like that because that's you, because she's been through so much. She survived her cancer, and she was just really, positive for people. So it's do and hope. She just did what she had to do, and she just hoped that it was gonna, So I used to say
Yeah.
that was nice, that suits you. It's not like, I can't remember what mine is, but mine is like something funny, you know, like get on with it or something like that.
Right.
It's kind of means something
She
like
did
that.
seem to always be finding the way to
Yeah.
to look at things on the brighter side. I mean, and
Especially
she's been
with her
through.
being ill.
I get some feelings she's been through some dark stuff. You
Yeah.
know, more than what we know about potentially. You know,
Definitely, definitely. I mean, she wasn't very happy with, you know, Beth, dog bounty hunter's wife, when
Uh-huh.
she had died, because she died of the same thing that Ziggy had.
Oh.
And she was very unhappy about that, because she was saying, oh, you know, she's got all that money, and, you know, she could have got the operation, and she was very, you know, touchy about, you know, she wasn't, that was one of her things that she was quite, you know, pissed off about.
Right.
You know, because she would say, you know, it's like, when you've got all the money to have the operations and
Right.
any
Whereas Ziggy
cosmetic
probably had a great deal.
surgery.
Yeah, she probably had a
Yeah.
great deal of difficulty trying to pay for her operation, right?
Yeah, and she
Yeah.
probably had to get the basic, you know,
Yeah.
as well. So,
Right.
so I was trying to, you know, keep her going with that, because she was putting that up on her own Facebook, and I was like, you know,
Yeah.
this sort of thing. So, I know
What
she
do you
was
know about
upset
Clan
that.
Matheson there, Capaldi? Anything?
No. I know about Clan Erekose.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I know what his motto is.
Yeah.
Haver and more havering.
Actually, I kind of dig the Matheson one. Do and hope that one's kind of good.
Yeah.
Well,
And mine's is Clan Ranald. Clan Ranald.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Ronald they call it now, but it's like Ranald, because the way they changed the sort of thing, you know, because
Oh, you Scots
trying to
pronounce
remember what-
everything strangely.
Yeah.
Head is heed.
I know.
Yeah. Or, you know, like, there's other words that, like words that should be pronounced like ear that you guys
Yep.
pronounce air. And I'm like,
air.
that could get confusing, you know. And
I'm looking
that's
up
alright,
this.
I'm getting it, though. I'm figuring it out. So.
I'm looking up Clan Ranald, because I'm trying to remember what it said mine was, because it was a funny one.
By the way, Sharon, you've got a heart badge on.
Yeah, my heart necklace.
Because that's
For
to
Ziggy.
do with
Yeah, Ziggy loved black
Ziggy's-
hearts.
Ziggy's symbol, yeah?
Yeah, she loved black hearts. She was always she always had that in her like her wee business cards and all that sort of thing. She always had like, you know, her wee black hearts, and I always like black hearts as well. So it's not always a horrible thing. You can be sunshiny and have black hearts as well.
Yeah. No, it was one of her symbols, wasn't it? Was it YouTube?
Yep.
Her
Got a
YouTube
common-
channel uses a
Yep.
black heart and has like
Yeah.
a red burst behind it.
Yeah.
So
So
Nice.
I've actually ordered the Ziggy tie.
right.
I don't know if you've
Good.
seen that, but
Which is what I was going to mention to everybody right now, that, you know, Miss Julie Pom Pom has created a store at the Zazzle website where you can buy remembrance tokens towards, you know, of Ziggy. I'm going to be getting a couple of the Ziggy pins. You know, they're similar to like the pin that like the American flag politician, that pin that politicians will wear. Similar to that, but it's Ziggy's heart with the red burst behind it.
She'll
So
love that.
Yeah, so I'm going to be
She'll
getting
love
a
that.
couple of those. I'll be wearing those on my collar whenever I go on with a live. So I'll have it on my collar. And so there's some things there if you guys want to go check out and get yourself a little reminder of Ziggy. That we had Julie create that. So thank you so much for that, Julie, and everybody go check it out if you get the chance.
Thank you.
As Paul has already done.
Mm-hmm.
oh yes, I've got mine on its way. It's on its way to Crunch Island very soon.
Yeah. You're starting to get along with the fact that Crunchberry Vineyards is in Scotland, right? Because of the bottle my client gave me. I'm glad it's sinking in finally.
No. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
Are you having it sent to
but
me?
You are in Scotland. I can tell by the line.
Oh, I'm in Scotland, right?
Sharon is in Scotland, definitely,
Yeah.
because of the accent.
I see.
I'm in
That's
London
why he said it,
in
because he's
America.
able to confuse it in Havering. Okay, got it. All right.
And
Back,
also notice the fact that according to my screen, you and me are half the size of Sharon.
Oh no, am I big?
no,
You're the big
well,
one.
on my side, you guys are both the same size. I'm a little smaller.
I don't want to be the big one.
No, you guys are equal size.
Right, because you are both equal size on my screen.
Look, can you see that? That's how you guys
Oh,
are
yeah.
appearing. So it's like you guys are both equal size. I'm a little bit smaller than you guys down in the corner.
So you're not as big-headed as you usually are.
Right?
Me or him?
Or
both of us.
Well, you had to ask, so I guess.
I'm asking for Ziggy. She would want to know.
So
I used to call her Ziggy Wiggy because someone had called her Wiggy by accident in the chat one time. So, and she was always laughing about it that someone called her Wiggy, and so I would call her when I would like do the art thing in the chat. I would always say Ziggy Wiggy, and she would always laugh. Ziggy Wiggy.
Right. So in addition to going there, the proceeds from everything that's bought at the Ziggy Zazzle website store there, anything that's made from that, because you do have to set a profit, and so it's at 1%. But anything bought there will be added to whatever donation gets made to a animal rescue shelter, whatever it is, animal charity that we end up donating to in her name. Whatever proceeds from the Zazzle store will go towards that. So that's just another thing for you guys to think about and consider, maybe going over and getting a couple items there. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I think it's totally reprehensible that anybody should criticise you for supporting, and mentioning, the sad demise of one of the loyal supporters, and try and belittle you, and try and provoke you into some sort of, comment against this person. That to me is
it's not on.
That's sick.
Mm-hmm. That is
totally sick.
You guys know I've been fighting this type of stuff the whole time I've been on YouTube and stuff. I mean, it's this kind of attitude and behavior that I understand that the person may have a bone to pick with me. They may have a bone to pick with the fact that I decided to publicly go on YouTube and talk about Ziggy. But I don't see how that's really much any different than if I go publicly on Facebook and talk about Ziggy.
Yeah.
They're both public. So what's the difference? You're splitting hairs here with me, and I don't understand why that person that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, I'm showing my grief in the way that I see fit. And nobody gets to determine that for me.
No.
So.
And that's helping other people, though. It's helping other people that have not
a lot of other people want to talk about
they're not. Yeah, exactly. It's helping everyone else.
Right. So that one person.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you're discontented. I'm sorry that you feel that way. But what we are doing is honoring a beloved member of our community. And that's what's happening here. So.
And it's not like we're being two-faced about it. It's not like it's someone that was on the periphery and that wasn't really, something we didn't go on with. It was something that was an integral part of the group, so.
I mean, she was Johnny on the spot, man. She was just, whenever there was need for help, she was like, boom, right there with her hand up. Let's go, put me in, coach.
Yeah.
That was her attitude. She was brilliant. Love Ziggy.
I mean, luckily, this person that decided earlier this afternoon, to criticise you, she is in a minority of one.
Yeah, it seems that way because nobody seems to be piling on. Just seems to be her.
Exactly.
There were some people on Laura's channel being a bit negative as well when I was on there on the chat, and I think there's always people that do that. When there's a situation like that, can they not just leave off the negativity for like a little while and let people, try and go over something, so. Right. But it's not. It's like they want to get in there and be vicious and vile.
I mean, I'll put it this way. Okay, once the dude has his own Learjet and owns an American football team, then yes, I can say to him, I think you've milked it enough. But until then, I think you're a long way off there.
Yeah.
I think you're a long way off there. And so anybody to come on and try and criticise you, it's pretty reprehensible.
Yeah, and it just so happens the person that you're talking about, her and I used to be friends, but it eventually got impossible to be friends with this person because it was just a constant, stream of the type of stuff like we saw today. So, but I don't want to get too much into that because that's the negative
No,
part of it.
that negative,
So,
yeah.
Because it's not worth that much time anyway, is it?
No.
It's one of the interesting things, isn't it? That being involved in making a murderer, the discussion about it. I mean, I suppose I kind of joined the discussion around about March of 2016. I immediately started to check out all the YouTube video channels. Why was it that I was immediately attracted to Erekose on Making a Murderer? Was it because of his thick Californian accent? No, it was because of his content and the fact.
That, dude.
It wasn't the size of his feet. It was not that at all. It was the fact.
The dragon shark.
It was the fact that he was actually talking about it in a rational, sensible way. One dare I say it, he doesn't have to cuss and swear and be like that all the time. And so therefore, it wasn't any great surprise when the Wrecking Crew grew and grew. And as you say, eventually you ended up on the. You went from Hangouts to Discord?
Yeah, we had to. Yeah, Hangouts only allowed us 199, and then it started rejecting people, so we had to shift.
But I mean, I remember when you went from 3,000 YouTube subscribers up to 6,000 in like no time.
Yeah, I went from like 2,500 to 5,000 in like 3 months.
Yeah,
and then since about January or February of 2019, I've now gone. I'm just approaching 6,500. So
yeah. Not surprising. I mean, that doesn't surprise me at all. Because I seem to remember the very first chats that we had together. One of them, I distinctly remember. I confess, I had come home from a gig. I watched a bit of an interview with Aaron Keller, talking with. It might have been Jerry Buting, but might have been somebody else.
Probably was actually.
Yeah, and it was that he showed the interview, and he showed. I think it was the last. Well, what he did on Aaron Keller's Law Network video was he showed that interviewing period between Wiegand Fassbender, Bert and Ernie going out of the room and then coming back into the room, and Brendan's whole reaction to what had happened, and it just hit me that I thought, hold on a sec, this is really, really bad. And I tried to get in touch with a few of the members of the community, wasn't able to. Got hold of the dude, and I still remember that chat we had about it, and that was what sort of drew me into the fact that this guy, yeah, he really cares about stuff. So it wasn't of any surprise to me when, as you say, the channel just doubled in size in next to no time, and you know yourself, you've got loads of really keen followers, like for example, Sharon over there in Scotland. Obviously I'm in Scotland, but Sharon's in Glasgow.
Butter knife at the ready.
Hey.
Butter knife. Yeah.
Not to do.
That's for another debate. The old Ouija's in Edinburgh, but
yeah.
No, I mean.
Well, seeing as it's about Ziggy today too, so
it is, yeah. And I mean, as I say, Ziggy is obviously, for us, she's the epitome of. This isn't the right word, but the epitome of a Making a Murderer supporter. But everybody's individual. Everybody has got their own backgrounds and life stories to tell.
Stuff going on.
Yeah, exactly. Her passions were different to anybody else's. She obviously had things that were unique to her. But yeah, I mean, it's just going to be strange not having that comment there anymore, isn't it? Right. It's going to be strange, doing videos and yeah. I mean, I used to see Ziggy's name crop up all the time,
Yeah.
particularly on videos, and as you say, in the Discord.
I would see her a lot over when I'd go over and check out one of Perplexed's videos every once in a while. And
Yeah.
everything. I'd show up there in the chat, and as soon as I would comment, it was like Ziggy was right there underneath me. Boom. You know, and so she was always just making little funny comments and things like that, or bringing up other things in a funny way, and you know, she was just always fun and enjoyable to be around. So, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, what am I going to do at Rally this year? I'm going to be sitting on my own. I should actually write "Ma'am" on a T-shirt, like she was kidding on last year. You know, sitting on your own with a homemade "Ma'am" T-shirt. You know, and it's sitting there like a saddle on my own. I should do that and take a picture. But, yeah, because I will be on my own this year. I'll be like, oh, everybody's away.
No, you won't, because we're having a rally in Gala, in Scotland.
Oh,
Like Glasgow or Gala Shields this year, yeah.
Yeah.
Next year. Yeah.
Well, that'd be alright. I know that.
You're having your guys are down in Gala gonna have a thing like they had in Glasgow and in Edinburgh, with all the Scottish flags, everybody marching.
Oh, you mean a ma'am one?
Oh, you're gonna have a ma'am one. Oh, sorry, I was thinking about something else, but.
He's mixed up.
So you're having a MAM rally in Gala? Is that what you're saying?
No, so I meant a Scottish rally, because you're coming to it.
Oh, because I'm coming to
when
it.
you come, yeah.
Okay, I actually was thinking about, if I come, I'm going to try to coincide it with some of those things so that I can actually come and record and get video of it myself. So
some of those wink things.
So.
But it should be good fun when you come to Scotland. It should.
Yeah.
You should try and get a swatch of Matheson tartan.
Yeah,
See if you can use your baby blues and get in there. And
yeah. And not have to pay £200. Yeah. So.
Oh, well, we could always go and
But then we could always have that, you know, on the wall.
I'll go in my wheelchair, right? Because when I get in my wheelchair, people always go, "Oh, do you want this? And do you want?" And it's like, I'm not milking it, but it's like, it's right. Funny. They always. I think people get awkward or something in a wheelchair. They overcompensate, so they might be like, "Oh, I'll give her the bit of tartan for nothing," you know. So,
there you go.
You never know. Use my wheelchair.
All the tricks.
I know. I'll be like, "Oh, I need a bit of tartan for my wheelchair."
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, you know, remembering our friend Ziggy, she was obviously a fierce lover of animals, dogs. Those of you who haven't gone over, you should go over and check out her YouTube channel, because the most recent video that she actually uploaded was of her with the two dogs that she really loved. And so she's just filming those two dogs playing. And then at one point she actually starts talking to us. You can actually hear Ziggy speaking in the video, and it's
I'm not sure if it was an older video.
Yeah, it's an older one before she had her
and she uploaded yeah.
But I'll say that her voice is actually still, it sounds like it's still pretty rough then, so whatever was happening with her was causing. But you can hear her, we can actually hear her speaking, and that to me was a huge deal. That was so awesome to be able to hear her talking. Yeah. That was better than I could have, asked for. Is her speaking on that video, and then she's just admiring her two, dogs or two girls,
our babies,
as she calls them, and they're just playing around with each other, and a little play fighting with each other, nothing serious, and it's a great little video, but it's awesome because we get to hear Ziggy herself speak to us, so I mean, and then the other thing I guess to talk about that I think for me the last thing I want to talk about is just the fact that I was seeing her around, seeing her on other YouTube videos, like I said, going over to Laura's channel and seeing her there, going over to reporting live, for my Sofa's channel or Paul's channel, and going over there, and she was a supporter. She was like almost always there. Obviously she was busy sometimes and we didn't see her, but a lot of times I would have hit a video and there she was. She was, she was always keen to be there to support everybody who was who was raising awareness for criminal justice, Stephen, Brendan, whatever it might be, and she was just a huge help and support, and that's the way I know her, and that's the way I'll remember her.
Remember her, yeah. And I mean, she probably was in so many other channels that we don't even know.
Well, that's just it. She had her.
Yeah,
she had her
was in
thumb in every true crime pie.
Yeah,
so, literally.
I just hope they see, from seeing the other videos, that the message passes on. Because I mean, there's probably some channels that don't know, but she was probably there all the time.
Yeah.
Which is a shame. I think that's the thing when it's someone online. I think, like Paul was touching on that, you don't really know, people when they're online, you just kind of know a name and you don't, do you know what I mean? It's, I think it's, some people are different though.
Yeah, not only that, but there's almost the sort of, it's, in a way, there's a slight disconnect with people if you only ever engage with them on the other end of say a typewriter. So sometimes when you've only ever seen somebody as a comment coming up,
yes,
sometimes that's in a situation like this, that's possibly an easier way to take what's happened. For those that have actually had the chats sort of face to face, albeit on social media. It's even harder. It's one of the things that I suppose some of us need to do. You can only engage with so many people via via social media. I mean, I would dread to think, for example, I mean, my phone pings constantly, particularly at night time. I have to
switch it
on to mute. I know, but I know of people that do, I think for Erekose, for the dude, I mean, when his phone eventually dies, he's going to have to get it surgically removed from a certain part of his body, where it's going to get clamped on there, because you must be inundated with messages all the time, dude.
Oh, there's a lot of messages coming through all the time,
yeah,
and that is me.
There's messages on Messenger coming through all the time. There's YouTube comments coming through all the time. There's Twitter stuff coming through all the time. I mean, I don't get notifications for the Discord stuff, but there's even stuff over there, and it's just, there's a lot of stuff, and honestly, I do miss some of it. I mean, it's difficult to
well, it's inevitable, isn't it? I mean, there's only what, 25 hours in a day.
Yeah.
Well, he's got to work some of the time.
yeah.
Kids on.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I think I'm gonna go ahead and say, we miss you, Ziggy. We're gonna miss you. We're, I cannot express exactly how sad I am that I'm just never gonna see her name pop up in my chats ever again. I'm never gonna see that, because she was just always a positive force, and she was just, she was a good egg, and it's tragic what happened, and for me the best thing to do is to talk about her and how wonderful she was, and so that she can be remembered for that, better than the circumstances of her passing. So
yeah, I mean, if this was a much more public, open forum, we could do something that we certainly do in Scotland a lot, and that is to, instead of having often in somebody's memory, to have a minute's applause for them, but it's not going to work that well on a YouTube channel. But you get what I'm trying to say. It's
a celebration.
Exactly, a celebration of them. Yeah.
Right.
And what they stood for, and what they were, trying to help. One of the little cogs in the many little cogs that make up a big cog that hopefully will spread awareness. and you know, Ziggy was definitely one of those.
So yes, absolutely. So rest in peace, Ziggy.
Yep.
There is a premiere currently premiering about the upcoming docudrama, The $50 Million Bullet. If you guys want to go check that out. We love Ziggy to death. We will obviously probably be revisiting Ziggy in some way, if by nothing else, by going through her clan, history and stuff like that, maybe next weekend or something. But no, not the content isn't going to become 100% about Ziggy all the time. It's just right now because we're all kind of processing
it's
it.
fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fresh. And everybody's
So-
upset.
Go ahead and hit subscribe if you haven't done so already. Go over and check out the premiere for the $50 Million Bullet. Some of the exclusive information I got today. I got a call from David Starr and Kay Reitz themselves, and they decided to share a little information with me. So go over and check that out. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe, and we'll see ya.